It's October and it's time for yellow jackets to appear again. We're at a high school where there's been a tremendous problem with yellow jackets. About 2 days ago, 8 kids were sent home from school because they'd been stung by yellow jackets. And in fact, one of the children went into anaphylactic shock, and they brought an ambulance out and he was taken off. So that is a big problem this time of year in schools, and I think it's very important for us to take a look at the situation and see where the yellow jackets have come from. Right now we're in the courtyard of the high school, right next to the cafeteria, and some drink machines back here, and also a place where they vend sandwiches right to my left, and we'll look around a little bit and try to see what the problem is associated with the yellow jackets. During lunchtime, they spill their Cokes, or the yellow jackets get into them and they can get stung while they're trying to drink them. If you notice, because of the problem with yellow jackets, they've done a really nice job of policing up this area so there are no leftover cans or food scraps at all. And that's because the yellow jackets come in just huge numbers and droves and are here literally swarming all over everything when the kids are out eating. We're back behind the cafeteria where they take care of the food scraps and the debris that's left over from preparing the food. And the dumpsters, if you notice back here, are left open. They're yellow jackets that come in and swarm in large numbers, feeding on the food residues back here by these dumpsters. One thing that we did in observing the behavior of these yellow jackets is that when they come up and out of the dumpster, they head off in that direction. They kind of fly directly over that satellite dish and down that way. So after we get done looking at this situation with the yellow jackets, we're going to head that way because that's probably where the nest is. North. One of the most common methods of trying to control yellow jackets is to place out traps like this one where they can enter into the trap and not find their way out again. Here's one trying to get in, so to speak, and there's some inside. These traps haven't been effective at all at this school. There are many yellow jackets foraging around, but very few get caught in the traps. We've come down to an area right adjacent to the school grounds. The fence here is the edge of the property line of the school, and actually some of the portables are up over, the roofs are up over to my left, and the yellow jackets come from the dumpsters way down in the school, right over the top of this fence, back into a wooded area right behind the camera. What we've been able to see is yellow jackets coming from the school back down into this wooded clearing, and so now what we need to do is head back into those woods and see if we can find the nest. It's probably down in that wooded area somewhere. We've come through the clearing back about 50 to 60 feet into the wooded area, and right at the base of the pine tree over there is a sizable nest of yellow jackets, and you can see that there's a considerable amount of activity. There's a lot of wind today and they aren't foraging very much, but there's still a lot of yellow jackets coming in and out. There are probably about a half a dozen holes to 10 holes that are coming in, that they're exiting and entering the nest. It's completely surrounded by a carton material, and down underneath in the ground somewhere is a nest with a whole bunch of combs. And the trick is, of course, how do we treat that particular problem? There is a lot of yellow jacket activity. They're primarily active during the day, and probably the best time to try to treat one of these nests would be at night, because right now, just as close as we are to this nest, it's a little bit dangerous with these things flying past our heads. All they have to do is get aggravated a little bit and they're going to come out in large numbers after us. I would expect this nest has somewhere between 10 and 100,000 yellow jackets, and it could be a life-threatening situation to deal with this many. Most yellow jackets in Florida are subterranean. They live in the ground. So it's just a matter of sprinkling some dust around the entrance to the nest. The yellow jackets, when they come back, they land in the dust, enter the nest, contaminate the nest with the dust, and then you get very effective control.
So they'll come out, they'll touch it. And as they touch it, they get it on them. If you start moving, they will fall.
Apparently they mark it and hang on. Trace that mark for about 2 miles.
Oh yeah. And you can already see them, it's already starting to work on them. I mean, they're coming up, they're crawling out, they're starting to fly, and then they're dropping about 3 or 4 feet away.
Does that have anything to do with it?
That could be. If you can get into it, put it in there, and then just get away from it. Just leave it alone for about 24 hours.